All right, hello there. We are back here. It's been a while. Really, I just missed Lita, so I was like, Lita, it's time for us to return. I don't even know who's following along with us. Actually, I know that our friend Elena is following along, so at least we've got one, and that's all that counts. But ultimately, I just like talking to you, especially about Survivor Maryland, but honestly about anything. So, Lita, what's on your mind?
It's been a long day. We're cracking a claw.
I got a clause. It was very sad.
Oh no, a double IPA.
Yeah, I don't know. It was
that
just
one is this hot. So we took a hiatus because of a lot of things. Kevin and I were out of town for a couple of days, and it was like my mom's birthday, and then we had to move. So these last couple of weeks have just been very busy. Today I came as close as I could reasonably come to using the word adulting in all sincerity. So I know I'm at the end of my rope because I had to get renter's insurance, which I've never done before. I had to get a new phone, which I did. And I had to book a cleaning service and work with Kevin to get our utilities up and running. So I've had a really fun day.
I go with taxes and mailing and shipping. So I'm feeling the same thing as you. And it seems to be that we're on the same page because both of us, without pre-coordinating, yet again, had the exact same idea for what we're going to put as our name. So
yeah, so I guess we both
Machiavellita.
Yeah, Machiavelli. No.
Machiavelli. It's not bad. It's not bad. We can work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours doesn't really work.
Austin
and Lita.
I was like Machiavelli. It did not work.
It sounds like you're in a relationship with Machiavelli, Mostin. Mostinavelli.
My current relationship, there's actually no good couple names, so it's just doomed for failure.
Yes. Well, we refer to you as Dostin.
Yeah, Dawson has caught on as I think the most effective, but it leaves some room to be desired.
Yeah, well, Kavita, unfortunately, is already a trademark brand name of kombucha.
Oh, no.
It's my favorite brand of kombucha.
I guess that's a good thing, then.
And Levin, also. A furniture store.
Also, iconic Jewish last name.
I know more Levines than Levins.
Oh, I know some Levins. So some friends growing up as Levins, so.
I had a very Pittsburgh experience today where the person next to me in the Verizon store, she was being helped and she had to give her address. And I was like, oh, you're my dad's next door neighbor. And she was like, oh, I know your brother. I was just like, Pittsburgh Jews, man.
Yeah, it's just the 6 degrees of Kevin kosher bacon.
What?
I don't know. I was thinking say the 6 degrees of Kevin bacon, but then I realized bacon not kosher. 6 degrees of steal the bacon. Maybe that's what we should do.
Well, I mean, Squirrel Hill does have one of the only all kosher Dunkin' Donuts, so they have all veggie bacon.
That is true. I think we got jelly donuts for what is it? Hanukkah? You have jelly donuts for?
Yeah, I get. Yeah.
That's where we got them from. I remember. I knew it from the kosher place. So anyway, Lita, my first question for you: how good are you at Risk?
Okay, this entire episode was a drinking game. For everything Alex said was ridiculous. I love Risk. I'm not very good at Risk, but I continue to lull myself to believe that every time it's just that people gang up against me.
Did you ever? What happened in your diplomacy game? Did we ever?
I won.
Oh, you did. So you're pretty good at these things.
Well, so I think I won because of toxic masculinity because there were 5 men and 2 girls. And at the beginning, before we even got our countries assigned, me and the other girl, who's my friend Lucy, were like, let's just team up. And like, no matter what countries we get, let's just split the win because it's like the Genius. You can have a joint victory. There's literally no downside. So I think all the boys just were so playing for themselves that it didn't even occur to them to aim for a joint victory. And even when they realized what was going on, they were like, well, one of them is going to have to turn on the other eventually. And I was like, no. We don't.
No, you don't actually.
So, and we were Turkey. She was Russia, and I was Austria, and so we just took out all of our neighbors very quickly, and then went to war with France.
Empire, Austro-Russo. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, congratulations. It must have
Thank
been
you.
because you read The Prince. There's no other way to be good at it.
Yes, I was so Machiavellian.
Also, well, let's just talk about in general, because I agree. I had it written down that we just needed a shotgun a beer to start off this episode, because honestly, I don't think we hit any other one of the drinking game things, but we hit the Alex one. There
was a scene about a car.
That's true. There was footage from. There was footage of a car, which was not actually the real car.
Austin, is it true that you turn into a black guy when you're filming?
Well, it depends on the lighting, honestly.
Yeah. What a great confessional. He was like, "Oh, isn't that Austin?" And I was like, "No, I think that's a black guy, so it's probably not." It's just really necessary information.
Considerable powers of deduction, as Alex said that he has.
Yeah.
What did you think of the episode overall?
I thought it was good. I thought there were some extremely old school Survivor vibes going on, from Michelle referring to it as the merger every time, to one of the first lines of the season being Micah saying, "Who voted for me?" Just a classic. This was like a early Survivor homage, this whole episode.
Yeah. When Michelle was talking about the Renee, Matt, Michelle, Katie merger, and about them, whether it would last after the merger, it was getting very confusing. And it only was something that business students would do. Just so many merger conversations.
So many mergers. So many mergers, acquisitions, all of that. But yeah, apparently the unbreakable bond of business students, it's apparently pretty breakable. And as someone who's very bigoted against business students, this was very satisfying for me.
Yes. I wrote down, as I was thinking about it today, is this the least successful alliance in the history of Survivor? I think the only one I can think of that might be worse is the Roosters.
What are the Roosters?
Isn't that like the Matt Quinlan in One World when like?
Oh, good God! I have no idea. I don't know. There have to be. I guess this is like the least successful alliance that started out real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, because there's a lot of ones where it's like, my all-female alliance in Survivor Lake House.
Yes.
That was made up just to, I don't know, make me upset.
Yeah, or what was I just thinking of? I was just thinking of Abby and RC, but I don't know how real that ever started off. But that one was pretty bad.
Yeah, I think it's the biggest failed alliance. Like, usually there's a lot of the time where you'll see, like, for one episode, 2 people be like, "Okay, we're gonna team up," and then it doesn't work out. This is 4 people who are all genuinely in, and then just lost it.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite pre-merge, whether it's like as an episode or not, depending, that's for up to people to watching to determine how it played out. But in terms of like things happening in real time and how I felt about it, I found this one incredibly compelling, only because like I was sitting there terrified. As soon as their alliance started to come together, I was like, damn, like this isn't a pre-made group, but there were like some existing connections and everything. And I was like, this 4 is just going to totally wreck the game and no one's going to know about them. And they're positioned so well. And I was like a little bit worried that it would just be boring in that sense. And like, I'm seeing all these other storylines play out where I'm like, part of me was like, oh, I'm rooting so hard for this Alex downfall. It's so perfect. He's just, I mean, you couldn't script a better like downfall episode than these confessionals. And then he had that realization confessional. And I was like, maybe there's actually some potential left for him. So it just was kind of chaotic for me watching through. And I very much enjoyed seeing multiple things fall apart, and then ultimately the core 4 just fell apart more.
Yeah, I will say, like, it is also very classic Survivor through current Survivor. This has never ended. To when a man is acting crazy, instead of him getting voted out, a random woman gets voted out who's like sort of involved in his craziness. Yeah. It's just like sort of the easy vote. Michelle, queen of never surviving a tribal council.
I know. I agree with you. I definitely crossed my mind. And I would have felt worse about it if it wasn't like such a cool storyline of that alliance. Just like there was no reason. The only reason was the idol, but it was such a more aggressive move to actually vote out one of those 4.
Yeah, I just didn't really understand. Like, I guess I get why it was Michelle and not Katie, but it's like, why would you be worried about Michelle? Like, why is now the time?
Well, I think for me at least, I thought that Renee and Michelle both played it really terribly.
Yeah.
And Michelle just played it slightly worse or just got outplayed by other people in the sense that everybody was talking about, and that was something that maybe wasn't totally captured, is like the Sokotoa six, like even though people didn't feel like they were that tight, they were still worried, like, oh my God, if we get to merge and there's 6 of them left. And I think Michelle was being way too transparent and trying to play too hard in terms of keeping Alex. And it was really only because she trusted Alex, but people had the concern of the Sokotoa. So Katie would never be as much of a risk for that.
Yeah, but to me, that just shows her absolute lack of survivor knowledge and aptitude. Like for somebody to say like, oh no, I don't want to vote out Alex because I want to keep him. That's such a rookie mistake that to me, that would almost be like, okay, like we can get out Michelle literally anytime, but I get that it is a vote. Yeah. But I mean, I'm not like super sad about it because I do like that we get more Alex because he's obviously a great character. But I do feel like this is somebody that is like, I would just be uncomfortable having him in the game because he's such a fucking weirdo.
He's just a total wild card, and like openly a wild card in a way that not everyone, I think, is somewhat uncommon, especially on a college survivor game, I think.
And I think if you're a strategic player, the last thing you want is like just such a bomb in the game.
Yeah. I mean, idle paranoia is such a thing, and I think like it kind of makes sense to me in terms of, and I don't think I have a good idea of who drove the eventual decision to vote for Michelle versus Alex. But I would bet that part of it was Matt. Matt's just like so risk averse, and getting the votes probably was like, I don't even want to take the chance. If I had to do it.
That's fair. But ultimately, Nicola, who is the queen of allyship, and said that a white has to go. A white person has to go. Yeah. She wins because a white person did go. Not a white person, but a white person.
Yes, I wrote down. I feel like we have to kick out the white on our team. As long as it's a white person who goes out, it's fine. And then I think there was a third one. Oh, yeah, Renee then also said a white has to go. So really, we really, in a sense, that was my 2015 moment because in one way, Nicola, I think, acknowledged it one of the times she said it. But like,
she's like, that sounds weird.
You couldn't say that now and it not be like a very like noticeable thing in the same way.
I mean, isn't that just post-merge Survivor Cook Islands? That's the I-24's entire strategy.
Well, it worked out well.
A white has to go.
Yeah, it's genius. I did think this was a breakout episode in terms of quotes, and many of them from Alex, but there were so many that little low-key ones that I liked. I guess we can go chronologically through the episode because I thought there were fun things throughout. So does that sound good to you? Or did you have things you want to talk about off the top?
No, we can just go through.
Okay. So, well, first, I did say this was a shame for us not to have Derek and Sam on, if only so that we could have called it the Core Four or the Fearsome Foursome. And the question was, which did you like better?
I think Fearsome Foursome is nice. It's a little more, it's a little sexier.
Yeah, alliteration's good.
Yeah.
Although
you did hashtag Core Four.
Well, you had to establish that,
Via hashtag.
This is a different era of Survivor. That's our 2015 moment.
Okay.
So we'll start off with Rose because we didn't have a ton from them specifically this episode. But Molly tries to recover with the tribe. I did also write this down. She said, I wanted to tell the white tribe members. And I said, what about the other tribe members?
Molly is so annoying.
Oh, yeah? Is that your thing?
Yes. She's just like, oh, my God, like, that I love you guys. Like, it literally was like not a big deal, like, man. And then she's in confessional being like, I hope they bought it. Like, it's like, no, they didn't buy it. That's nothing. That doesn't mean anything. Also, I had to watch this. I had I had so many like phone calls and shit to make today that I had to watch this at 1.25 speed on YouTube. And everybody sounds normal except Molly. Everybody sounds completely normal. And Molly is like,
maybe that is compounding the annoyingness factor. I
was also in a very bad mood when I watched this episode because I was like on the phone with Verizon customer service. So
they are truly the worst.
Yeah, and so I started the episode and was like, oh my fucking God, Molly. Shut up.
I called the IRS today and I, of course, don't get through right away. So they were like, okay, we'll give you a call back. And I was like, great. So then I sat there waiting for an hour and they called me back. And they were like, can you tell me what the purpose of this call is, to, like state the whatever. And I was like, yeah, I just need some help. I had a question about blah blah blah, and the person goes, huh, and then hangs up. And literally don't come back. That was it. That was it. They just laughed and hung up. I was like, what?
Wow, incredible.
So customer service is really on point today.
Yeah, rough day for customer service. A woman at the Verizon store asked the guy who's the only person working in the store, she was like, I can't get my phone to connect to the Bluetooth in my car. Can you come to my car and help me? It's God. No.
Absolutely not.
Ma'am, there's a pandemic. I can't just get in your vehicle and abandon my store.
That's weird in general.
I know, but he was clearly the only person working there. Like, yeah, let me just leave the store with customers in it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
anyway, yeah, Somali is really annoying. That's my take. Yeah, I'm glad she went back to invisibility.
Yeah, so I like that Shannon said, "I got you, grr," and in my mind, she like felt like that she couldn't say girl because she said girl. It was like real, but if it was grr, it's just
I got you, grr.
Right, exactly. That's like Sandra crossing her fingers when she makes her promises.
Yeah, I also like Alan being very delusional and like, so that tribal council actually went really well, even though I was left out of the vote and nothing that I wanted to happen happened.
I just can't get over the way he says Sakatoa.
Sakatoa. You gotta Sakatoya.
Sock and boppers.
I don't know what that was. Oh, are those like
or Rock'em Sockers? I don't want to.
No, yeah. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, but there were those, but there was also, I just remember the commercials when I was a kid. There also were like, ones that like you could use it, like not like the robots. It was like actually you. Like,
yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. It's called, they're called soccer boppers.
Soccer boppers?
Soccer bopper. I hardly know her.
Yeah, it's soccer and bopper. Anyway, well, we can go also. Let's just get through all the rosé stuff while we're here, because I think there'll be more to talk about the other stuff. So, we go to Evan looking for the idol. I don't know if you understood that. I didn't really explain it, but I think at some point I just was like, I'm gonna release the blue tribe idol clues to everyone, just because there was only one idol left. I don't usually plant like a merge idol right away. And so I'm just like, hey, everyone, the clues are going to release at this time. You all go. So Evan was the first one to go. And went to find the idol. Were you happy with Evan finding another idol?
I mean, yes, because I like Evan, but if I didn't know him, then no, I would be very annoyed by a white guy in a successful alliance hoarding idols.
Yes, good point. So we're really breaking the trend here in Thrive Maryland of your interests.
Yeah.
Cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
I liked the quote of Evan saying he was going to walk away conspicuously, which did end up being very prophetic.
Did he mean to say inconspicuously?
Definitely meant to say inconspicuously. Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought maybe he was just saying, like, I'm going to walk away conspicuously, and then he does, like, the little bell dance, and it's like, he was very conspicuous.
I didn't think about it that way, but I'm pretty sure he didn't mean that.
Oh, well, he did walk away very conspicuously because he did that little dance.
Yes, and literally at that moment, Alex drives back onto campus, which truly, like, he lived 45 minutes away. This was not...
Whoa. Terry could never.
Actually, Denton Hall is right there, so Terry would have been very well postured.
Wow.
Yeah. What did you think of this, the way that Evan and Alex both played this? Starting with Alex saying, good job, winky face.
Yeah, Evan just like question mark, like just in case it's about something else. But like, yeah, I guess you have to like make sure that he knows what he's saying or whatever. This is a good way. If I were playing Survivor Maryland, I would just occasionally text everybody, good job, winky face. So they would fess up to getting the idol.
Oh my God, that's a genius strategy. I think you just cracked College Survivor.
Mass texting, BCC emailing.
Is that your master plan?
Can I play if I go to graduate school at the University of Maryland?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Have you ever had a grad student?
We've had one grad student in one of the later seasons, and I know that I think some other schools do grad students. If like people's schedules work for it, just usually they have classes at night and stuff, and they sometimes don't live near campus at all, but if you live close to campus and you can make it work, sure.
Yeah, I mean, I am considering graduate school. I don't think I would go to the University of Maryland, but maybe if I can guarantee that I win because I just cracked the whole case.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if people are watching though from season 22.
Winky faces. How can you say no?
Let's play fanfic. What other things could Alex have been texting about? Evan, good job, winky face.
Maybe if Evan hooked up with a hot babe at a party recently.
Micah?
Yeah, maybe if Evan hooked up with Micah.
Yeah.
What?
No,
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Alex seems like the kind of man who would do that. Be like, nice, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say he's in the he wouldn't be my first pick in the draft of who would do that, but he would be a possibility.
Who's the first pick in this cast?
In this cast?
I mean, in the last cast, it's obvious. Oh yeah, Renee. In the last cast, it's obviously that annoying Jew. What was his name? Harry.
Actually, in this cast, I think it might be Nicola.
That's so true. Or Molly would be like, "Oh my god, awesome! That's so cool! That's amazing! I'm so happy for you. She's so awesome."
Love the Molly impressions. A new character for Lita.
So
well, I'll ask while we're here. What was your take on Micah's quote post challenge?
Oh, that was not a becoming look on a fine young gentleman like Micah Aronson. I don't like taking such great pleasure in throwing dirty water in a girl's face.
We love just totally out of the blue. It was like a blindside villain quote. It's he's just sitting there smiling, and all of a sudden, this just over and over and over again throwing water at her.
Yeah, I really did not enjoy that quote from such a nice young Jewish boy.
Yeah, so we all have our flaws.
I guess so. I mean, being male is a flaw, so.
That water was very gross. It was absolutely just disgusting.
This is the Damn It Reed Memorial Challenge.
Yeah. I think Renee played the role of Colby by kicking the bucket into the fountain.
He kicked the bucket.
Oh, God. It's dark.
Sorry, like Evan a few challenges ago.
Yes. All right. So so Alex talks to Evan. Where did I write any of that down? Oh, yeah.
Sorry. I had one more guess about what the nice job Winky Face could be about. According to Evan's sweatshirt, he was the track and field champion in 2013. So maybe he was congratulating him on that.
Oh, that's really great call. I'm glad Alex pays so much attention to the details.
Thank you. I actually couldn't really. What?
Most people do congratulate people on their track success with Winky Face.
Yes.
Great job in the 100.
I already can't remember. It was so long ago. Did we talk about with Sam and Derek on the episode where Evan almost died? Did we talk about? Do you ever ask him on the season, "How's your head"?
We did talk about that.
Oh, okay.
there were multiple jokes made. I didn't do it though. I did appreciate that we had some nice callbacks of. I think it was Molly who yelled out as he's finishing the puzzle, "He can even do it while he's concussed."
Great. Yeah. I could not for the life of me figure out what was going on in that puzzle. Evan's just running around, moving around squares.
It's the Tower of Hanoi, but
oh, bigger.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had textbooks instead because I didn't have the actual set, so low budget.
But we did it with marshmallows. I mean eggs, whatever. Eggs.
What? The leftover eggs I had in my room.
Yes.
Yeah. I enjoyed. So this is really the start of Alex being Alex this episode. I did enjoy Evan saying, "Don't you have the white idol?" Well done, quick-witted there. And Alex said, it's not a bad thing if people think you have the idol because they won't vote for you, which I don't actually agree with, but ended up being strangely true this episode.
So this is such a broad Survivor question because something that has always interested me with Survivor is that consistently people who do not have idols pretend to have idols, and people who have idols pretend to not have idols. Mm-hmm. And I understand that there are circumstances, like if you're for sure going home, then obviously you want to pretend that you have an idol. And if you're for sure not, then you want to pretend that you don't. If you do have one, but like, I honestly feel like it's an impulse. Like, I think there's a lot of people who unnecessarily lie about, like, they just feel like if they don't have one, they should say they do. And if they do have one, they shouldn't say that they do. Even though there's obviously benefits to people knowing that you have it and benefits to people not knowing. So I always feel like this is something that most Survivor contestants don't really know how to play correctly. But I also am famously a proponent of telling your allies that you have one.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also hard because it's so situational where, like, if you tell people and you don't have the social bonds, then you are giving them more fodder to blindside you. However, if you do have the social bonds, then they're more likely to tell you, and they're more likely, I mean, I think we've discussed this before, but it's situational, and you also have to know the exact dynamics to make it work. Which
and I just think people are bad at that, and so their instinct is to just do the opposite of whatever is true.
Well, it worked out for him. So Evan really saved him in the end.
Yeah.
Alex said, don't worry, I'll include you in my plan, which was my first instance of drink.
Oh, yes.
So we had the noir scene pre-episode, and I should have added drink every time I say noir because it's just tragic every time.
Noir.
Noir.
I would also say, in terms of a post-challenge quote, here's a surefire sign that somebody is lying in Survivor. When you ask them who they're planning on voting for, and they go, I haven't even thought about it. I didn't think we were going to lose.
Yeah.
Matt lies through his teeth here. Of course. Yeah, that's how you know somebody is not working with you.
Yeah. I don't know why people don't recognize that, but, teach their own.
People believe what they want to believe.
That's very true. In life as well. So pre-challenge, we had the first iteration of the Core Four. Such a great alliance coming together. They're talking about how great it is. Renee says that it's great that we're business students because we can meet up whenever. And I was like, right.
As opposed to all other students. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Katie was good here. It's kind of funny. I know that she was being serious and I get what she's going for, but it's funny to say, like, okay, no matter what anybody tells you, if you're talking to other people, if they say that we're talking about each other, we're not. Just check with each other for it. Basically gives Katie like carte blanche to talk to other people and say whatever she wants and just be like, whatever anybody tells you about how we're talking, it's not true.
It does. I think that ultimately it makes a little more sense because the whole thing was filmed post-challenge and they were all talking about the different people that were talking to them.
Okay.
But yes, I mean, I think
it does make sense. It's just a funny thing to say. Like, hey guys, if anybody says something, they're lying and I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. I mean, it is true though. Like if you were actually in a tight alliance, like for example, me, Danny, and Matt Gagan and Lita did not make it to the merge, but very sad. It does certainly
sacrifice myself so that we could have an all-white male final three.
I know you were so excited for that to happen.
Yeah, I couldn't wait.
But it does actually make sense to confront people and not believe it right away. And then that is literally what happened. Though I think there's some agency in Michelle and Katie very much withholding stuff in this. But yeah, I did think that was an interesting thing to say. And I had was Matt an early investor in Zoom?
What do you mean?
At the end where they put their hands in and he's like, Zoom.
Oh, I didn't understand what he was saying. Maybe he was just a big fan of the PBS series.
Oh, well, I was too. So.
Where they do science experiments.
Zaboomafoo.
No, Zoom.
Wait, that wasn't the same thing?
No, Zaboomafoo was about the lemur.
The lemur was in Zoom.
No, the Zaboomafoo is the name of the lemur, and he's a lemur from Madagascar, and you learn nature facts with the Pratt brothers. Zoom was a show on PBS where kids did science experiments.
Now I'm forgetting which one. I know that one of them had an acrobat episode, and that like really made me want to be an acrobat for a long time.
Did that ever work out for you?
Well, we can try.
Okay. Alex can give you lessons on how to backflip off of a picnic table and not really stick the landing.
Well, and Brandon said a layout isn't even that hard.
Then you do it, Brandon. That also wasn't really a layout. I don't think it counts if you're jumping off of a picnic table, but
Look, Brendan was not impressed. Pull up the Michaela's Michaela's not impressed face.
Speaking of gymnastics.
Yeah, that's right. We're really on brand. Let's move to the challenge. Yeah, we love a had to be there joke between tribes.
Oh, with the knitting club?
Yeah.
What happened to She Was a Fighter? That was so much better.
I don't think it's gone forever, but I'm not sure. Well, I guess this is spoilers, merges next episode, but this is the
go to the great knitting club in the sky where you can be a fighter.
Yes, you can stitch your heart back together.
Yes.
I did write down that I think this was maybe one of the most random challenges I've ever done, and truly don't understand the connection between any of the parts.
And then when you're done with this part, you just do a puzzle because it's a Survivor.
Yeah, well, that part is on brand, but I just the carrying the person into the water tossing. I don't know where that factored in.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand what happened with the 30-second penalty, but whatever.
Yeah, I should have subtitled that. Basically, they specifically could not use the red bucket once the water was empty, and because it would just like be an advantage to scoop faster while the other one was being tossed. And Alex continued to. So I love giving challenge penalties. One of my favorite things.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's just it's like the look of like they want to challenge you at first, but then they know they screwed up, and they like it's like this like deep sadness and shame, and great for the storylines.
You are not in the attack zone. We're not in the bucket zone.
Yeah, I wish I had been Jeff Probst at that moment. It seems like it would have been a life memory.
I don't think that Jeff Probst enjoys giving challenge penalties. Like he seems infuriated every time he has to do it.
I guess I don't like when you making tough judgment calls in challenges is very tough. When you know the challenge is tough, but when people blatantly try to get around the rules and know they mess up, that part I enjoy.
The only time I've ever received a challenge penalty was in our Survivor Weekend edition. We got a very bullshit penalty for something to do with beanbags that I don't even remember. But it was
wait, were you on my tribe then, or were you not?
No, I was not.
There was something. I don't know if it was it was like something was wrong with the challenge design. But blame Chris Thomas and Anders and Danny.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, you were playing. You were not the one who charged us with the penalty. But I was like not involved in whatever part of the challenge it happened, and I didn't understand it, and I was very frustrated.
Wait, I actually just realized that I think I was talking to them about what the penalty should be while I was competing. Like I was like, all right, because that happened, the penalty should be this amount of time because that would be a fair approximation. So clearly I actually do like giving penalties because I distinctly remember trying to argue with them on that.
It's like, why should the person from the other tribe determine the penalty?
But they were listening too.
I know, it was so frustrating.
They were actually listening.
Shut up, Austin.
Oh my God, it's all rushing. Look, they needed help. I was there. I have experience in this.
Whatever. I'm gonna blame it on LeCompte. He was on our tribe, so.
That's fair. Yeah. All right, let's go to the post challenge. So Alex is very emotional and then declares, "Well, I guess we're all enemies for the next few nights."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't get emotional very often." I'm like, "You're not getting emotional now." It just cuts to him just being like, sorry guys." Like, wow, so emotional.
And then we go to the Nicola, Renee, Brandon scene, and a couple. We have already talked about the white quotes within that, but just a couple other ones that stuck out to me. Renee says, "I'll go with whatever the orchestra is going." I was like, I've never heard it referred to as the orchestra.
Yeah, is that what happens before you make the jury? You make it to the orchestra.
I make it to the upper deck, or what's the what's
upper mezzanine?
Upper mezzanine, yes.
Unless you attend a lot of concerts on boats.
I made it to the grass at Jiffy Lube.
The lawn.
The lawn. And then we had we have Brandon. He throws out Michelle's name, and Renee's like, "Nah, that would never happen."
Yeah.
And then Nicola pitches a direct alliance with Renee, and Renee says, "I've seen you levitate towards me."
Yeah, he definitely might gravitate, but you know what? Nicole is a very powerful woman.
I just pictured like those like when cartoons when they're like
Yes.
on their tiptoes. Yeah.
Wait, do you watch 30 Rock?
No, I haven't, but it's on our list.
Okay, well then I can't make the reference I was going to make.
You can anyway. I just won't get it.
Well, if anybody watches 30 Rock, it's very Jenna Maroney going, he will know, and then floating towards Kenneth. But yes. I mean, I think that we could probably track Renee either saying things that are the opposite of true or like misspeaking. Yeah. Not lying, but saying things that are just like, oh, Michelle's definitely not going home, like stuff like that. I feel like Renee is a false prophet.
Yeah, we love disproving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's the self-own. Yes. What was your take on Nicola in general this episode? Because you've not been super high on her, but
no, and I'm still not. I still think she is a little OTT for me. But I don't know. Do you think that she was super instrumental in this vote?
I do, and I thought she played everything really well here.
Okay.
I think it was in two parts. One, I think that she played Alex a lot better than Brandon did in a clear comparison. Not that that's like.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon. Yeah, Brandon's not good with like subtlety.
Yeah, and I think she played that very well. I think she played getting in with Renee very well. And like I always am a fan of like the very forward, like I really do want to align with you thing right away with someone. I think that actually, if you're someone who can speak genuinely, and I think she can, that does work. And I think that the way that she brought it to Matt and Renee, from what I could tell, was effective and flipped them on a very tight alliance. So, you know, I think that she probably was less secure. I think that she obviously didn't know about the 4, and so was less secure than she may have thought in her mind. But I thought she played everything right to make that happen. So I would say I think that she building that trust, then eventually capitalizing on that trust to like, hey, this just happened. We're going to bring this to you, because they really did go to them absolutely right away after the midnight meeting.
At the stroke of midnight.
It truly was at the stroke of midnight.
Wow, and you showed the moon as they were meeting.
I needed like a giant Big Ben clock.
Ben Roethlisberger?
Yes, I needed Ben Roethlisberger to point at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the meeting at the stroke of midnight. Maybe he's one of those TikTok witches I keep hearing about.
What?
Okay. Guess here.
I know about TikTok, but I didn't know the witches thing.
People are like fighting. The people are gonna like fight the moon. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, you wrote something on Twitter about
like everybody on Twitter is talking about these like witches who like put a hex on the moon, and I was online truly all day yesterday because I had nothing else to do, and I still somehow missed it. So I can't explain it to you.
So I didn't know it existed until you talked about this.
By the way, our air conditioner is going to be fixed soon.
Oh my god! Hey, my family's is also terrible, so I've heard multiple tales. Not that
it's because we're all home all the time, so we're running it way more often.
I guess that is probably true.
Like everybody's
because it's disgusting.
Yeah, it is so fucking awful, and I'm trying to think of like. I'm like, is this the worst summer I've ever endured? And then it's like, no, obviously not. Just normally I can like go to the gym or like a coffee shop and just like be in the air conditioning for an hour, but can't go anywhere.
Yeah, when your reprieve is outdoors, it does make it difficult when it is quite hot. It's quite hot this week.
Yeah, disgusting. But at least it's all is right in the world, because at least it's finally hotter in Baltimore than it is in Pittsburgh. That was terrible for the couple of weeks where it was hotter here than in DC. I was like, no, I moved here to get away from this.
It was a lie.
I swore to myself last summer, I was like, even before I decided to move, I was like, I will not do another summer in DC.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just needed more pools, but that's also not totally in the summer.
No, DC has tons of. I was at a different pool every day in DC. I was getting day passes. Yeah, but no, can't do that anymore. I do have a huge kiddie pool now. It's very large. It takes about 45 minutes to set up and fill.
I mean, still though, that was like it had to be the ultimate gift for a summer too. You can't get better for that this summer.
Yeah. People are still going to Sam Russell is still going to his pool. I don't belong to a pool. I feel like if I did, maybe I would do that.
I mean, certain ones do like social distancing where like you come in at certain times.
I know, but you have to pay for that. I'm not made of money. I have to buy renter's insurance.
It does cost some money. So
we're getting a dog soon. It's gonna be all our money. How are we gonna beat you to getting a dog? You guys have been thinking about it for so long.
I don't know. Good question.
I finished my claw.
I guess we need another one. We have more drinks. We certainly have a lot more coming up. So,
I know.
I read this down too. That I mean, this shouldn't be that hard of a thing, but I think if people do screw it up a lot, and certainly we saw this episode with Michelle. Like Nicola was just like Alex or Michelle, either one. I don't really care, and I think that worked well with Renee too. Just like let the options be there, and that builds a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Did you catch I think it was during the scene too, or no, maybe it was later. No, okay, we'll get to that. We go to Alex. So we'll just start all the Alex stuff. So Alex says, when you're manipulating people, it's like building on sand. So tough to build on sand, as we know from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah,
that is true. Unless you're a sandbender.
Yeah, but those aren't that. I mean, I don't think Alex is a sandbender.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to assume anybody's bending.
What bender would you think that Alex is?
Truth. I don't know.
What?
He bends the truth.
Wow. I don't even know if I would make that joke.
I don't know. Alex is he's so volatile. He's a firebender.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. That's interesting.
I feel like Alex would be like a Sokka style swords master.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good call. Yeah. Like there's a mix of like Sokka and like some like Zuko, my honor thing there.
I don't know. Do you think Alex cares about his honor?
No, but
I think Alex cares about people thinking that he has honor.
Yes, that's certainly true. Which I think is also true with Zuko, but he does actually care about his honor. That's Zuko. I've heard. That
Zuko, that rascally Zuko.
And Alex says that there's only two surefire things in this world: self-preservation and logic.
Okay. I would argue maybe like gravity. I mean, it's just a theory, but
I thought it was horseshoes and death and taxes. Those are the two.
Right. There's only two certain things in this world: horseshoes and anger. Close only counts in death and taxes.
If this was Bitter Jurors, that would be the quote title for the episode. There's only five things in this world. You said this Alex, Nicola, Michelle, or did you mean like the whole Alex scene was the scene of the episode? Do you want to explain that?
I think the whole scene where he's talking about Machiavelli is the scene of the episode. Especially, This is why I'm so good at Risk. If you think that using Machiavellian theory to win Risk is like a legitimate thing that could happen, I feel like between that and we'll get to it, but everything he said at Tribal Council, it like totally takes the cake for like most ridiculous shit. It's just so much like, it's like the male equivalent of I'm not like other girls is men being just like, I'm so weird. I just like think in numbers. It's like, ugh. I hate it so much.
I loved it actually though.
I love it as a character, but this is somebody that like, if he started to talk to me at a party, I would be like looking for a way out instantly and just be like, yeah, cool. Anyway, I like have my friends over there. Like this is like my least favorite type of man to talk to. The one who like thinks he's so smart and wants to tell you about it.
Oh, wait, you mean if he started talking to a party and said, I'm so good at Risk?
I'm so good at Risk, and I just basically see people as numbers.
I don't know if you caught that I wrote, I I think it was Alex who said, "I've been talking to people," and I wrote it as "I've been talking to people." I think I was just so stuck on the spelling of Renee.
Oh.
Bene.
Or you were thinking about John Benet Ramsey.
That one did cross my mind too, and I'm very sad. Here's another quote. We're just gonna run through these and drink. Here we go.
I don't have a Claude. You would have to You would have to entertain the audience for like 40 seconds.
I can do that.
Okay, are you sure? Would you like a topic to give a TED Talk on?
Oh, okay. I gotta bring my acrobats.
Oh yeah, okay. You can do that, or you can give a TED Talk on cinematography.
This is my TED Talk on cinematography. So cinematography, actually, right now, Lita is demonstrating a little bit of a canted angle as the camera shows into the mirror. It's almost like Inception style that you can see the mirror within that. Now, if I was framing this shot, I think the composition is pretty good. I think you have to, the rule of thirds is the classic that you kind of have to start with. And that picture frame in the top left, not quite following the rule of thirds. It's kind of following the rule of fourths, which is not a thing. Now, if we go to the chair framing, I think the chair framing is very good. And I will say, Survivor Maryland cinematography, not always the best because I'm dealing with amateurs who film themselves. They put up their phones and they sit here, and the players are just equal in the shot, and it's zoomed in. And if I'm going to zoom on their face, it like cuts off the side of their face. So all the rules are broken. Oh, you're back.
How'd you do?
You'll have to ask the people in the audience.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure I'm getting asked back for TEDx 2021.
Okay, sorry. Things are happening. Everything is bad. Oh my god.
No. All right.
Okay.
There.
The rug has like captured the wheels of this chair, so
the rug came out from under you?
I have a White Claw. I've mixed it up.
Okay.
We got a mango, objectively the second best flavor.
What's the best flavor?
Watermelon, bitch.
I had my second watermelon ever this weekend, and I very much liked it. The mango's also very good. So
the second variety of White Claw is like so extremely better than the first one. It's outrageous.
You do love when people improve on the first option. So
yeah, because the second one is mango, watermelon, tangerine, and lemon. All of those flavors are hits. The first one is raspberry, gross, lime, grapefruit, which is delicious, and then another flavor I can't even think of.
I had original second selection for this weekend, and I gotta say it was disappointing.
What's the fourth flavor in the original pack?
Natural lime. Did you say that one?
No, I said lime. Oh, is mango in the original pack?
No.
Oh, maybe it's like black cherry.
Black cherry. Yeah.
Okay, black cherry is disgusting. Raspberry is disgusting. Lime is okay, and grapefruit is amazing. So that's one. This one
that they did so well after having such a bad starter pack.
I know. I had to switch to Bon and Viv, but then once they came out with this one, there's no berry or cherry flavors, so I can stomach all of them because I don't like berry.
Have you done high noons yet? Have you done high noons yet?
Is that the Blue Moon thing?
No, it's like vodka sodas that are flavored.
Ooh, that sounds okay.
It seems like something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, I do like vodka sodas. But I want to try there's a new like 90 calorie Blue Moon that I want to try.
I do love Blue Moon, so
me too. And I don't know if you know this, but I've been on a fitness journey in quarantine. I've lost 15 pounds.
Wow, props to you. That's awesome.
Thank you. It's been harder since I stopped exercising because I can't go to the gym and it's 100 degrees out.
That does make it a little bit harder. Well, what did you do for the beginning? You just said it was not as hot?
Yeah, I ran all the time.
Running sucks.
I like running.
I'm happy for you, and I'm thrilled for you. And I wish
which is how I feel about picking up heavy things and putting them down. I don't like doing that.
Yes, that is very hard.
Why? Somebody's reminding you about his second in stars.
That's an extended backstory that. Hello, Keith, by the way, but extended backstory we're not going to go into.
Okay. It's not about like Survivor Maryland in stars too.
No, but I did get second place in Survivor Maryland reunions or weekend or surprise game. We don't have a good name for that. We need a good name.
I thought it was reunion.
I think it is reunion. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think that was. Yeah, Survivor Maryland reunion, second place. So I'm here for the second places.
Yeah, and I tied with Micah, so that's, an honor in itself.
Me and Fluke, the most iconic second placers around.
And Katie Collins. Nope. Katie, not Collins. Katie from Survivor Palau.
I was like, what?
She was the first second placer I could think of, and I got her name wrong. What is Katie from Survivor Palau's name?
I feel like it was a C, but
I think it's a G. Katie Gallagher.
Yes, good pull.
Why is that the first runner-up that I think of?
I'm not sure. Well, they were named Katie's. Oh, wait, the prompt was not to be a Katie, so I don't know.
The prompt is to always be a Katie in life. Don't be a Michelle, be a Katie.
Yeah. As we're getting off the rails, let's go into the more drinking portion. So,
Yay.
Here we go. There is a foolproof plan that I can't tell you yet. There will be a meeting. I can't tell you the plan yet, ... obviously.
The sign of a great ally, by the way.
Tonight there is a secret meeting at the stroke of midnight. I don't know. Did you have? I had more at tribal, but that's what I had for pre-tribal stuff.
I mean, we already referenced all of the other the risk stuff and the Machiavelli stuff. I don't know if we drank to it, but
one more for the whole just concept of the whole thing.
Here's a question. Do you think Michelle actually knew who Machiavelli was when she was like, oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about?
Yes, I'm going to give Michelle the credit that she knew who
I think she's a very smart person that just seemed like, I don't want this conversation to continue.
Yes. The prince. I don't, these things happened. Alex has his meeting. There was a lot of back and forth. So what do you think of the way that Michelle and Katie in particular, Katie says at one point, we're in the middle of this whole thing, which I think at one point was true, but what do you think that they should have done or how they handled it or whatever?
Okay, so you know that I'm never prepared to give a good answer on strategy. Yeah. However, I actually don't really blame Michelle for a lot of this because, Alex she is talking about, she's running through all of these scenarios and she can't find a flaw in Alex's plan. Honestly, I agree with her because she's given an opportunity to, basically have options and have, one alliance here and then also have her original Sokotoa people. Obviously, it's a bad read for her to think that the OG Sokotoa people are, a good alliance because she and the Soka trio are never, she's always going to be so far on the bottom of that. Not even the fourth, but, the fifth or sixth of that alliance. So it's not a great read, but I think that, if she can just talk to Katie earlier and be like, okay, here's why I'm leaning towards this, and maybe just let Katie do more of the talking. When you know nothing about Survivor, enough to not even know that it's called the merge, I think you just have to have the humility to say, this is my very first tribal council. I have no idea what it feels like to be on the chopping block. Not that Katie is a Survivor super fan, but she obviously has been to tribal before. She's been talking to more people. I think that Michelle just has to have the wherewithal to take the back seat. But I honestly don't really blame her because when you don't know any of this stuff, I don't think that she I think she made a lot of little mistakes. I don't think she made the biggest mistake she made, I think, was making it so obvious that she didn't want to let go of a certain person. But I think it was a lot of little things compounded, and a lot of them were just rookie errors. I don't think she egregiously fumbled the ball.
Yeah, I think that's well articulated, and honestly, she did a good job of understanding the way the dynamics were setting up. I think the only reason it went so poorly is because she, like you said, she was so obvious about wanting Alex to stay, and she didn't even have to say it now. You can totally say, yeah, Alex can go next because he isn't going this round. No one wants to push him to go this round, so it's so easy then to either decide what you want to do and make a move this round, or have the chance to make the move the next round and just fly then. But I think, yeah, you're right. It's definitely screams not having a ton of Survivor experience before, which I think there's something to be said for watching people who understand the game play the game, but it's one of the reasons why I never wanted to cast all super fans is because you watch people make mistakes naturally as well.
Yeah, and there are people like Katie who don't have to have seen every season to have a natural aptitude for the game. Yeah. The problem is just I think that you can develop that aptitude quickly, but I think for most people it takes at least one tribal to do that. And so I think Michelle tried to do too much with too little information, because you can't even have a gut feeling if you've never survived a tribal.
Definitely. You don't get the way that the chaos unfolds last second, the way that words go around. I mean, and even where you see, I think Renee and Michelle both talking about like, wow, I didn't really get it until this just happened.
Yeah.
And Renee had even been to tribal before. So yeah, I think you're definitely right. Renee, I mean, I think did not handle this well himself either. And definitely a little bit condescending with like, you're not with the Sokotoas anymore, Michelle. No. Like definitely did not build trust very well there.
Yeah.
Although he was trying to goad Michelle about, I know how you feel about Alex, handsome young man.
He's fine. Alex seems short to me. Am I right?
He's not tall, but I don't think he's aggressively short.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're not tall, you're short.
Of course. There's only. I think people in a binary.
I don't know. If you're under 5'10", you're short. I'm just kidding. A little. If you're under 5'7", I can't see you on Hinge.
Is it filtered out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not that I use Hinge anymore.
Right.
But previously, the reason I liked it was
on Lita's Hinge.
Yes, I liked it because you could filter out people under 5'7".
I did enjoy. I did think Brandon did peg Alex well with the groggily whispering voice and the air to him. It deserved roast and confessional.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of Batman movies recently, so Alex is giving me Batman vibes.
Where's Katie?
Meet me at the stroke of midnight. I am the night. I've only watched the bad ones though. I watched Batman and Robin and Batman Forever.
Well, was Batman and Robin, did it live up to the hype?
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Okay, it's on my list.
Yeah. It's got an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it deserved every one of those percentages. It's actually amazing.
Some people say you take out the weakest person of the tribe, but I think we take out the strongest.
This didn't even really make sense to me as a plan.
Well, it's not like I don't think Alex realized, again, not being a super fan of the show, I don't think he realized that it's not that groundbreaking to take out a big threat, but he just went about it in the most aggressive way possible. To absolutely, he said this, he was like, I thought that the game was based on like logical convincing or whatever, and no, it's about people. And I did appreciate that he kind of like in this confessional totally was like, and I remember him sitting there, he just was sitting there and he was just like, it was like the
blonde lady math meme. Oh,
yeah. Whatever his name is.
Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
My reference for that is the blonde lady with all the math around her.
What's that from?
It's you have seen this meme. Yeah. Search blonde lady math meme. I'm sure it'll come. Yes, it does. It's the first thing that comes up.
Blonde lady math meme. Yeah. Oh, yes. Very similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the only thing that's off about this is that he sort of like positions logic and what was it, like self-preservation? I don't know. He says like, oh, Brandon's acting on this. He's not acting on logic or whatever. He sort of positions two things as opposite when they're not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just is about people. Like at a certain point, that's just what Survivor is, and.
But like it's about people, but it's about logic in that like everybody has their own like it's about being able to see into people's minds and see what do they think is the most logical, because there is obviously points where people are like, well, I'm not going to vote this person out because I like them better because they're my friend, and you might say that that's not logical. It's not Sarah Paulson in the meme. You might say like, oh, that's not logical, but it's very logical to want to play a game with somebody that you like better than another person. It's just a matter of like what that person, like what their personality would determine is more logical. So
individual game. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just think that the positioning of like logic and emotions as opposite in life and in Survivor is like such a fallacy.
Yeah, I didn't mean to oversimplify it. I mean, it's what the levels of thinking concepts were.
No, and I'm not directing that at you. That's just
God, I can't believe you would insult me like that. Unbelievable.
Austin, you're thinking emotionally, you're not thinking logically.
Classic me.
But like often it's very logical to make a decision based on emotion. Like when you are like deciding to be in a relationship with or marry somebody, it's like that is a logical decision often that is derived from an emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, and the one piece of logic that makes sense for you is not necessarily the one that makes sense for everybody else.
Yeah.
If you can't get past that level one baseline level of thought that my logic is this, therefore other person's logic is this, and you can't be one driver. And I think he did understand that to a perspective, and also started to understand that like it also involves playing the people aspect of it too. And the logic is skewed by the fact of how much do you trust the logic of what they're saying. If the logic is that this is going to make sense down the line, but it's total bullshit, obviously you have to have a degree of trust.
Yeah.
Brandon described Alex's plan as like the Justice League. Speaking of Batman, did you agree with the comparison?
No, wait, what is he saying?
He says to Renee and Matt and Nicola that Alex was bringing together. It was like the Justice League.
Okay. Who's who? So in the Justice League, we have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and Hawkgirl, I think are the main guys in the Justice League.
Wait a minute. Say that again. Okay. Batman. Alex has to be Batman. We've got that.
Okay. Alex is Batman. We've got Superman.
Okay.
We've got Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Green Lantern, The Flash, and Hawkgirl.
What is Hawkgirl?
Hawkgirl was my favorite.
I didn't watch enough Justice League. I think that Wonder Woman has to be Michelle in this case because she's sort of like the de facto other leader of this thing.
Okay.
How would we describe Green Lantern? I don't know enough about Green Lantern except that
the other one.
The other well then why don't we make Katie Hawkgirl if she said that she's good, so
she's my favorite.
Okay. I don't know. What do you think? What are Nicola and Brandon in this?
I think Nicola is probably Superman. She's pretty consistent, pretty identifiable, and that makes Brandon the Flash because he sort of was a flash in the pan in this episode.
Hey, Batman! Great job getting the girl.
Great job, Winky Face.
Great job, Winky Face. Yes. All right, and I did like Renee bringing back Master Plan, whether he meant to or not, talking about the Master Plan, and he said they were playing the game, and the game just played them. It'd
be like that sometimes.
Yeah. Did you expect Michelle to go at the end of this, or what do you think is going to happen?
So I had a vague sense that Michelle went out early in this season. So it didn't like totally shock me. I think the whole episode I was thinking, oh, this is like a classic Alex downfall episode. Like Austin's not even bothering to hide it in the edit because sometimes it's just really satisfying to like bring down a character like this. But then at the end, Michelle's getting a lot of airtime. She's talking about stuff that I don't know we would necessarily see if Alex is the one that goes home. So by tribal, I was like, could be Michelle here.
Yeah. I honestly don't think I would have done it any differently. I think I would have done it exactly the same. It just would have been Alex going home.
Yeah, I believe that. It's just that we've seen so little of Michelle. Part of that being that she hasn't gotten a tribal. But there's always a part of me that's like, visibility spike.
Yeah. But I mean, she was a big. I don't even do the visibility spike thing. I just like she was a big player in the episode, but it also
sometimes that's why a visibility spike happens because you're going home and there's probably a reason for it.
Yes, precisely. We get the tribal, daytime tribal.
I know. I noted that.
Yes.
This tribal was not at the stroke of midnight.
It's like when everyone was so tired from earlier.
I know. What, did everybody have a party to get to after this tribal?
I have no idea. It just was hard to schedule for some reason, and we did it at that time. I have no idea.
Okay, we're going to do it at a hot 5:15 p.m.
I think it was a Friday night.
Yeah, so everybody had a party to get to. Remember parties?
No. I don't. Maybe Michelle really did have a part to get to because I asked, how did it feel to be a tribal for the first time? And Michelle goes, exhilarating.
I feel exhilarated.
Yes. And then we get into Alex. I couldn't write down the whole quote. I didn't bother to go back and get it. But some of the things I wrote down. I have a strange sort of mind, I guess. For me, it's a bunch of patterns. Imagine a bunch of binary codes floating through your head. Each person is a series of zeros and ones. And then I wrote shotgun and beer. That's what I got to. And the facial reactions were precise, or were on point.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy Renee and Matt this episode? Or at least Renee this episode? I feel like Matt didn't say a lot, but
I think Renee's fine. Renee is never going to be like my favorite character. I liked him reminding us that he is not white, so he can't be the one to go home because it has to be a white person that goes out. But yeah, I mean, he's got a solid eye roll. I don't think I'm ever going to be a Renee stan.
Yeah. What about in terms of looks this episode? What did you think of Alex's zip-up sweater, mostly unzipped?
Listen, when you're a superhero and you are a vigilante who has to defend Gotham City, you need to not have a ton of clothing because you need to change into your suit.
Yeah, it really was about practicality.
Yeah.
I do think Alex's cover of being a parkour guy and a free runner, that really does lend well to being a superhero.
Yeah, because nobody will question, like, why do you know how to do all those backflips? You know, they won't be like, you're definitely a superhero.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, there's something there. I think we need to investigate this. Did you notice Katie voting left-handed?
No, is Katie a lefty?
She is not.
Wow, trying to disguise her handwriting.
Yes, making it look very ugly. Much like me, another lefty who just writes badly with my left hand.
Boys are just bad at handwriting. This is just a fact.
Well, lefties, it's hard for a lefty. The smudging is really not. It's not fair.
I think I may have mentioned this in the group chat, but I recently learned that I play backgammon backwards from most people. So my setup goes
backwards gammon.
Yes. So my setup goes the opposite way, and I never knew why this was. The first time I played Colin Stone in backgammon, he was like, "Oh, you set up the opposite way," which is like fine. You can play either way. And I never knew why it was, but I learned it's because my dad is left-handed, and he taught me how to play backgammon. So the whole world must be backwards to you.
Backgammon. That's what I call myself.
I think I have also dated a disproportionate number of left-handed guys.
It makes sense though, because like most of the things I learned a lot of sports right-handed because I watched people. So it would make sense that you're learning if you take from a lefty in backgammon that you just learn it as that. Yeah,
and when I was little, it was the same thing. I've grown out of it, but there were certain things that I would do left-handed because my dad taught me how to do them. I still deal cards left-handed, for example.
Interesting. Have you ever used your phone with your left hand? I think that's such a.
I can't use my phone with my left hand.
I can't either. That's the thing. Just falls apart.
Wait, you do it with your?
I'm right-handed because I feel like the right hand is the accepted phone hand.
Oh, weird. Yeah, no, I can't. First of all, okay, this is a new phone, but I have tiny hands. My hand barely wraps around my phone. So if I try to do it with my left hand, I will drop it. My phone is always shattered. God, pray for this one. My case doesn't get here until Wednesday, so just pray. But
Don't do what Danny did. Weren't you there that night in Pittsburgh?
When
he smashed his phone?
I
didn't even know you yet, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
We went to Drag Purim.
Wait, you went to Let My People Ho? Oh, no, that was Drag Passover.
No, yeah, we went to Drag Purim a few years back. And
okay.
Danny got pretty drunk and then took his phone on the dance floor and went, "I have an OtterBox. I could never break my phone," and just threw it on the wooden dance floor. And like he was like, "Ha ha ha!" Picked it up and just totally shattered.
Oh my God! Well, first of all, I thought you were talking about there was a Passover drag show at Blue Moon one time called "Let My People Ho," and then we found out the host was a Hebrew school teacher at Temple Sinai.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So. Anywho, my horror story about shattering my phone, normally it's just because I drop it and like something normal happens, but one time I was at King's Dominion with my ex and his friend, and in the parking lot, literally end of the day, walking to the car, my phone has survived all of the roller coasters and stuff. I drop it, and my ex-boyfriend's friend goes like, "Oh, I'll grab it," and accidentally stepped on it, and it just got shattered. It's
Oh
like,
my
oh
gosh.
God.
That's such a stupid way.
He was like, "Oh, I'll get it." Just
The one time I shattered mine, I had an OtterBox and like I dropped it off like a 2-foot CVS counter and it just boom. I was like, what the hell is this OtterBox crap?
yeah, I'm not spending that. My case that I just bought was $11.99.
Yeah, there's good ergonomic cases that do the job. Knock on wood. The what else did I have? Tribal. Yeah, Michelle gets blindsided. Yikes, that was a tough blindside. Katie and Alex are stunned. Yeah, any other thoughts that you had on all the things?
This was a fun episode.
Yeah. Did you watch the preview or did you not watch the preview?
I did watch the preview because I wanted to see Michelle's last words.
And you wanted to see Katie calling someone basically.
Yeah, is Katie drunk?
No.
Oh my God.
Have you never seen Spicy Katie?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
she voted me out, but I wasn't somebody that you needed to get spicy over. I was pretty easy to vote out. So
Katie is like so she just like is so tranquil and like calm and whatever, and then like it just when she like gets going and gets fiery, it gets very very.
Where does Katie live nowadays?
In DC, but I don't know. Am I adding her personal information? I think it's fine. She's about to move to SF.
Okay. Well, I don't think anybody can find her because she lives in DC or San Francisco, those famously small towns.
You guys got it.
Wait, why was she in Philly that one time?
I think
Remember?
she had a client that she worked within, or like had like a client thing in Philly.
Oh.
So she would travel there, it's like just consulting stuff.
Katie,
Yeah.
Queen of always being taller than I think she's going to be. Every time I see Katie, she's so much taller than I think she is.
I think she's like right at 5'7" or so. So like
that is tall for a girl.
Maybe more like 5'5". I don't know. I'll have to ask her if she ever comes on.
I just think she is significantly taller than me, like at least a few inches. And I always think she's
5'7".
Yeah, I'm 5'3".
I was thinking of her as 5'7".
I just
match your be on your Hinge profile.
I just think she's taller than everybody thinks she is. I just need people to know that.
People undersell.
People undersell Katie on site.
And poor Michelle didn't even realize that Matt voted her out. That's tough.
I know that you said poor Michelle, but I heard Porum Michelle for a second. I thought we were going back to Danny's drunk Porum story.
Porum Michelle. That's what they'll call her.
Porum
Michelle. Porum.
I'm coming out of my Porum shell. I'm finally going to wear a Queen Esther costume.
What is it? Hot Shell Ray? Porum Shell? Do you remember that band? Hot Shell Ray?
No.
They sang the, like, we're going at it tonight. Like that song, I think.
There's a party in the roof on top of the world. Are those the words?
I thought it was rooftop, top of the world.
I don't know.
I see big debates here. All right.
I think it would be nice to be on a roof on top of the world.
It would be.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that. Maybe they're Sugar Ray's cousin.
Yes. Sugar and Hot Shell.
Yeah.
Let's go into superlative, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. Any cancellations?
I don't think so. Everybody's really been on their best behavior this episode.
Good job.
I mean, this season, really.
Yeah. No, 0 cancellations so far. Did you have a best quote?
Oh my God. I think it has to be that's why I'm so good at Risk.
Yeah.
The binary codes one was almost like he knows he's being ridiculous, and the Risk one was just...
That was the best block quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best moment, you said the scene with Machiavelli, so we're fine with that.
Although the moment where he sees Evan, that whole explanation of him finding the idol was also a really good scene.
Yes. Love when those things happen. Do you have a best player?
I mean, I guess you've kind of convinced me that it's Nicola, but I don't know.
I would say it's Nicola this episode. Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. It's hard for me to tell kind of like who's driving these things sometimes. I think Matt comes out actually pretty well out of all of this.
Yeah, I mean, very unscathed, and I honestly
in a
wonder,
position where he could have been burned.
Yeah, doesn't even get votes on him there. Yeah, no, and that's a very effective, just kind of keeping things even keeled and I don't know, not pissing anyone off really.
Yeah.
Do we have a That's So College moment? I had one.
I don't think I did.
We already talked about this one, but mine was that Renee's saying they can meet all the time because they're business students. Just that I can picture the business school and then like having little side meetings in the hallways as business students do.
Oh, this is related to That So College. I really liked Matt's shirt that just says college sports.
I always love this shirt.
I actually have a shirt that just says sports on it. I saw it and had to buy it at a thrift store. It's just an oversized t-shirt that doesn't fit me at all. I just wear it to sleep that just says sports.
It's spectacular.
Go sports.
Also, I should say while we're doing these last couple, if there are any questions in the chat, feel free to hit us up with those. Did you have a 2015 moment?
You referencing the song Tonight Tonight?
Yes.
It's probably older than that. No, did you have one?
I didn't have one. A very modern episode.
Yes, everyone is. I mean, we had a lot of throwbacks to like really old school Survivor, but nothing 2015.
Our 2002 moment of the week.
Yes.
Do you have a fish out of water?
I mean, gotta think Renee's in trouble here. But I also think Molly is just fucked no matter what.
I was gonna say it's Molly, and especially because, and not like just from this episode, obviously not any forward, but mostly because of getting thrown dirty water at her all the time. She really.
Oh yes. Well, she's a fish in water.
In the water. And then did you? Oh well, before we get to lead of the pack, I had a question on what your favorite episode so far has been, and I think the candidates probably, unless you think otherwise, would be the premiere, the last episode, or this one.
I think it's gotta be this one.
Okay.
I mean, I was definitely like the most engaged. Like I said, I was in a really bad mood when I started watching this episode, but I was not in as bad a mood when I finished watching this
episode. Yes. Except for if there was more Molly, it would have been over, but
it's important to have someone to find really annoying in every Survivor season.
Yeah. Maybe if we go back to one speed, she'll be okay. But
I'm sure Molly is a very nice person.
She's a very nice person. All right, and then you're leader of the pack.
I mean, listen, I hate to just pile it onto one person, but you got to give it to Evan here, right? He finds an idol, gets caught, and still plays it off well.
Yeah, I mean, it caps off what was a pretty stellar pre-merge for Evan. You can't really find much to hate. If anything, the only things that went wrong were Alex happening to drive by and him walking away conspicuously.
And him getting his skull bashed into several pieces.
That wasn't great, but it makes him vulnerable, you know?
Yeah, it's important to be vulnerable.
Yes. Okay, well, we talked plenty, so I figured we could, because both of us are probably pretty bored, so this is my offer.
Wait, what?
I figured we could go a little long because, I don't know, you...
Oh, because both of us are bored, yes. I thought you said the watchers were, and I was like, excuse you.
Oh,
I think they're really treated to a lot of extra... Yeah, well, yes, we both have nothing to do this week.
Yeah. So let me know if you want to do another one this week.
Yes, I mean, with Kevin out of town, I'm like texting everybody being like, do you want to catch up over the phone? I'm like so lonely.
The issue is that like I can only do that during the day, and so I'll be like, do you want to catch up at 2 p.m.? And people are like,
yeah.
No, I don't want to. I have to work.
Yeah. How was Danny's birthday?
It was good. We went to an outdoor restaurant for the first time in a while. It was by the water. It was good distance, and it was nice to do something a little bit different.
Nice.
We went boating with people yesterday, and
wow. Yeah. I don't know if we've ever discussed that Danny and my mom have the same birthday.
I don't think we ever have. Happy birthday to your mom.
Yeah. Happy birthday to her. We had a lovely day.
What did you do for hers?
We watched the film Moonstruck, the one that Cher won her Oscar for. And I got her, for her birthday, I got her like a bunch of outdoor decorations for the lawn because we have like a backyard. And so I like surprised her with like decorating the backyard, and we had like a really lovely take out dinner on the patio from Point Bruges, if you've ever
Lovely.
been to Point Bruges.
I have not.
Oh, highly recommend.
Okay. That just like the name sounds good. Anything Bruges.
It's a Belgian restaurant. Do you guys like mussels?
Bruges. We like mussels. Wait, mussels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've obviously never had them, but they're known.
I was like, did you say mussels?
No, but they have like the best fries because it's a Belgian restaurant, so they have like the best fries. But they're known for their mussels. It seems like something that you guys would be into because you like fancy, disgusting.
I like them. I remember we ate mussels one time during Passover, and the best part about the mussels is being able to dip in the sauce with the bread, and we just had this bread sitting there. And we were
it's also really weird that you guys don't even keep kosher over Passover.
Look.
Just like, let me eat literally a gigantic plate of shellfish over Passover.
Because the different purposes. I
get it. We've been over this before. I don't agree with your methods, but I can respect it.
As they say, what is it? Let my people hoe.
Yeah, let my people hoe.
But yeah, I came home on Danny's birthday, and he was totally had a lot of White Claws and was very sloshed. So I don't know if that was the same for your mom, but
no. Well, we had some Pinot Gris.
Okay, that's good.
I also got her some pie from the Butterwood Bake Consortium. Another highly recommend.
Yum. I got the gifts that I got Danny were also meant to me as I'm sitting in the chair that I just got him.
Nice.
And I coordinated with his parents to get a Dutch oven that we were excited about.
Oh, cool! Kevin and I are getting an air fryer soon.
Ooh.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
Ooh.
We make so much tofu. I want to pump it
up.
That's
maybe good for the tofu.
Yeah.
You don't get that from my sister because she eats a lot of tofu.
Who?
My sister.
Oh, is your sister vegetarian?
Vegetarian, yeah.
Oh. Well, what's taking you so long?
Meat.
Never heard of it.
She's canceled.
You guys need to visit Pittsburgh again so we can go to the club again. For anyone who doesn't know, the club is my backyard where we're 6 feet apart playing music over the speakers.
Yes. But it's a great club.
Yeah, I do
love an episode from the club.
What?
I said we'll film an episode from the club.
Yes.
All right, Lita, anything else? Do you want to plug your Twitter or anything?
Yeah, it's Lita Tweeted. And you can follow me on Instagram at Lita Grammed. I'm going to be on a stream, on Taryn's Twitch stream on Wednesday. I don't know what we're talking about because I don't really care. I was like, I'm free Wednesday. I'm so bored.
Big Brother reveal or something. That'd be good.
I don't want to talk about Big Brother, but
I wouldn't either. But I guess casting it,
I don't know. I was like, I'm bored. Can I come on your stream? I have literally nothing to do this week. And he was like, yeah, how's Wednesday? And I was like, sure. And then asked no follow-up questions. And he did not inform me what we're talking about. So I'll be streaming on Taryn's Twitch TV Taryn Armstrong, maybe? Twitch TV / I don't know. Whatever. You can check me out there. And I think that's all I have to plug.
Sounds fun. I got nothing else to plug. I'll be back whenever Lita wants to be back. So you can find me here at that.
Follow him at Ostentatious with 11 S's.
I'm just gonna keep creating accounts with more S's. We'll follow them.
Do you like my Twitter name, by the way?
The Millennium Falcon? Is there any?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Solid fun.
I thought that one's been for a while.
No, it hasn't been for too long because all of June it was Stonewall was a riot.
That's right. I was seamless. It was so it is a good pun that I thought it had just been there.
No, it just makes so much sense. I need more Brill puns. I'm kind of running out. If anybody else would like to send me some.
Machiavellian.
Absolutely not.
I don't know. I thought about trying to get it for finally getting into the name pun game on Twitter, but I just don't think there's going to be enough for me because, God, the closest thing to Trump is never something.
No, you have so many. You could do Trup and away, or
so many.
Ball in a trup.
What?
Ball in a cup.
What says ball in a cup?
Yes, it's a game.
Is it you put the ball in the cup?
It's attached by a string, and it's like a rubber ball, and you have a cup, and you
I just never heard people call it that. I thought it was just a thing that you do.
No, that's what it's called. Okay, I could do better than that. I think Trup and away is fine.
2 girls, 1 trup.
Yes, exactly. There's got to be more. A ruptured spleen.
Why are these all so terrible? Like terrible things to talk about.
There's no bad ideas in brainstorming, Austin. Also, for the record, I already told you this in the group chat that I became officially the pun guy at work and did not know.
I honestly had so much pride in that.
Yes, when I announced at work that it was my last all staff meeting, all of the Zoom comments, literally 3 at the same time, were like, "No, we'll miss your puns." That's like, when did I become the pun guy?
It just makes me so happy. When I left my office, I ended up coming back, but like when I left my rotational tour there, they gave me. Have you heard of the game Punderdome?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they gave me Punderdome, and then but they each wrote on a separate note. They wrote a goodbye or a pun about me or a goodbye pun. It was very sweet.
That is very cute.
Yeah. So welcome to the club, the club.
The club. I feel like maybe there's something with puppy that you could rhyme. The Truppy Bowl you could do in February.
There, yeah. I'll have to come up with if I can get a list. If people want to submit a list to help me out.
When you and Danny get engaged, you'll have impending truptules.
Fill up your trup. Nozzle tough.
Look, I am.
I just never get over that. All right. Well, people are going to be like, what happened for those last 13 minutes? Lita, great talking to you as always. And let me know if you want to do another one this week or whenever, but we'll try to go down as long as last time.
Okay.
Yeah. As if you want. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not knowing. So watch. Oh, no. Is that like a war dog pun?
No, what's up, dog?
Oh, what's
Watch up, dog?
That's pretty. Okay.
You could just do what's trup dog, though.
Trup dog? Yeah. Well, we're workshopping. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. And the 2 Machiavellis will now sign off and we'll go play Risk. Can't believe we both did that. There were no other options. Yeah. All right. Bye, Lita. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.